Wicks. Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready? Are you ready to get your fix? Are you ready to get your fix? With the Wicks here on this beautiful Thursday, October 14th, 2021, and welcome to the show. Now, I had to make the executive decision to do the show earlier than expected because I'm going to go do some frolfing with some friends, and then I didn't want to be rushed around 6 o'clock before the game, you know, when it gets dark in here and shit like that, so I just wanted to make sure we got it done and over with. Today is going to be short, sweet, and, about football. So that is going to be fun. But hey, Week 6 of the 2021 NFL regular season has arrived, all right, with a huge game between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Philadelphia Eagles, in which we will preview that game, give you my thoughts on what might happen, and some injuries along with that, all right? Other than that, we'll dive into my top 5 for my Week 6 NFL power rankings to give you guys a little idea of why I put the teams where I did. And then after that, we got some interesting news surrounding the Washington football team, once known as the Washington Redskins. And the reason I say that is because the specific player we're going to be talking about on that team was once a Redskin, now a Washington football team member. But we'll get to that later. So with that being said, are you ready to get your fix? Well, right off the bat, we are going to be talking about this Week 6 power rankings. Basically, I'm just going to give you my 1 through 5 power rankings. If you want to know the rest, go fucking look at it. It's on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Set it up real nice, real easy for y'all to look at it. Now, this is going to go each and every week after Monday's slate of games, or after Monday's game, I should say, is over and done with. I will be releasing them every week on Wednesday. That is the hope. And I will have them done for sure before the show actually starts, so that I don't have to skip the show, move it here to Thursday. Thursdays, for some reason, if I had more people, and maybe we could start at an earlier time, we'd think about doing Thursdays, but I just like to relax, get home, cool off a little bit before that Thursday night football game takes place, and then we come back right on Friday with that fantasy football, talk with, full Chubb and team fantasy football, the fantasy football team owner, Y4, John, if you will. But talking about my Week 5 or Week 6 power rankings, 1 through 5, we will talk, we're going to go 1 through 5, not 5 through 1. So we'll start with the Buffalo Bills I have at the number 1 spot. They are sitting at 4-1. Now, I put them at the top spot just basically because they've been literally kicking the shit out of every team they have played. Now, they played the Steelers right away. They lose, and they're on a 4 straight win streak, so that's pretty decent for them. But I do think they are better than the Arizona Cardinals. The Arizona Cardinals, they're interesting. Okay, they are a very underrated team, not so much anymore. But when you think of the Cardinals, you're like, all right, they're going to screw up one of these times. They're not, they don't have that much firepower, even though they kind of do. Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins, Max Williams, who is now out. That's going to be a big factor for the Cardinals going forward. I believe they did sign a tight end. Can't remember exactly off the top of my head who that was. But I still do think the Buffalo Bills are just a hair better than the Cardinals. And if these two teams were to meet up, I'd take the Bills any day of the week. It still would be, it would be a fucking shootout, to say the least. Both defenses are playing phenomenal. Both offenses are playing phenomenal. That would be a fun game to watch, and I'm not 100% sure at this point if they actually play each other during the season. But that brings me to the next team. Number 2 is the Arizona Cardinals. They are sitting at 5-0, looking really, really solid. They've had some tough games. They've had some easy games. They probably should have lost that, game against the Minnesota Vikings, but Dalvin Cook decided to fumble the ball, and the rest is kind of, history right there.
with the team I have third is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You could argue, you could say that they should go to the number 2 spot, and I could agree. Okay, basically the decision behind this was, look, Cardinals are undefeated. They're 5-0. I get it. The Bills aren't undefeated as well, but I still think you can look at the Cardinals and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as equals at this point. Okay, both have weapons, both are explosive, both can put points on and win easily. Okay, the Bucs are one team that went out there last week, took the Dolphins on a little cruise and threw them out in the middle of the ocean and said, see you later, I'll keep it moving, and they just went along with their business. Cardinals, I mean, they've beat the Los Angeles Rams, I believe they took on. They beat, obviously, the Vikings and so forth. So they have played some decent teams around the league, but I think this one really, for me, was about the record. 5-0, 4-1 for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. For some reason, if the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Cardinals are both 4-1, I would have Tampa Bay up there. But since the Arizona Cardinals have won every single game that they have played, I had to just inch them above there. Obviously, I don't think that's going to be the case going forward because my 2 teams going to the Super Bowl this year were the Buffalo Bills and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And also, on the Pat McAfee Show today, Matt Hasselbeck even picked the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win this year's Super Bowl that is going to take place in Los Angeles. Now, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, for me, are third. That's what we kind of just talked about a little bit. But speaking of Los Angeles, my next 2 teams both play there at SoFi Stadium. The Los Angeles Rams are my 4th team at 4-1, and the Chargers are my 5th team at 4-1. Right now, if the season ended, the Chargers would be the number 1 seed in the AFC. I just seen that post from ESPN on Facebook. That is actually kind of crazy. I would expect maybe the Bills, or I would have expected the Bills to be up there. It probably all goes right back to point differential or maybe division wins and stuff like that. I'm not 100% sure on that. I haven't even looked at the playoff picture besides when I was scrolling. I just happened to fucking get right next to it. But I just, these 2 teams, the Rams, I have at 4, just because basically what they're capable of doing, are able to do on the field. Cooper Kupp, Matthew Stafford are picking up each other's, I guess, the way they play together is just awesome. I don't know how to say that. My brain's going blank here for a second. But I still think the Rams defense is a little better. Not a whole lot better than that Chargers defense. I think if these 2 teams were to I guess meet up, I think the Rams might edge them a little bit. It would literally all depend on that running back situation that the Rams are dealing with. They still have Darrell Henderson back there. Where the Chargers really, they're rolling on offense. Their defense, it's there. Okay, it's a really good defense, but I'm unsure if they would be able to really hold Cooper Kupp, Matthew Stafford from scoring a lot of points at a high pace, I guess. Because Darrell Henderson's going to move that ball down the field. Matthew Stafford's going to find Robert Woods. He's going to find Van Jefferson. He's going to find Cooper Kupp, and he's going to be able to put a lot of points on the board. But I just think the Rams have played, I guess, somewhat more of tougher opponents recently. But, you could literally say these guys are tied for 4th. I could say that too. Or tied for 5th. One of the 2. But these 2 teams are very, very similar. They both play in Los Angeles. They're playing really good ball right now. If I had to guess, the Rams are still, they have the chance of winning that division, and in my eyes, they probably will win that division unless Arizona just continues to roll. I believe Chandler Jones is dealing with a little bit of an injury on their defense, but Rams Chargers are my 4th and 5th are ranked in my power rankings this week. Now, like I said, this is going to be happening every single week. On Wednesday, I will be dropping them, so there'll be nice, cool little graphics up there with a red arrow going down and a green arrow going up, seeing who moved what positions and where. But like I said, if you don't know 6 through 32, like I said, Facebook at Get Your Fix with the Wicks, Instagram at GetYourFix_Wicks, and then Twitter, I believe it's just Get Your Fix. So if I'm wrong on that Twitter one, just type in literally Get Your Fix with the Wicks and it'll pop up. That's all you have to do to find my power rankings and more. Obviously, the show is only on Facebook and YouTube at this point. We were going to try to move it to Twitch. Twitch wasn't fucking working with the streaming site I use, so it is what it is. But Facebook and YouTube, they are on there. The show is on there basically every day, for sure 4 times a week at 6. If you want updates like today, I said on Facebook about 15 minutes before the show, I said, hey, just an FYI, show is at 4:30 p.m. Central Time today, so be ready to get your fix kind of thing. And those were kind of where the updates are going to be posted. Twitter, I don't really like Twitter too much. It's just a bunch of mumbo jumbo. That's where I usually get all my fucking, information and what I look at there, and I go out and watch all these other broadcasts and stuff like that. So that is my week 6 power rankings. I don't know why I keep saying 5. It's probably because I'm doing, 1 through 5 here, but those are my power rankings, top 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 with the Bills, Cardinals, Bucks, Rams, and Chargers. All of them except the Cardinals sitting at 4-1, where the Cardinals are 5-0. But now it's time to move over. Before we preview this Thursday night football game, we're going to talk about the Washington football team. It was just announced this morning that Sean Taylor, that's right, Sean Taylor, is going to have his number retired this Sunday before the game against the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, they probably could have picked a better game, one that they might have won, or could have won, or could win, I should say, not won, because the game hasn't been played yet. But I still think the Chiefs are going to literally walk in there and saying, how's it going? Keep moving, and then the rest is history. They're probably going to win by 20, if I had to guess. Probably 14. Definitely going to be a 2-touchdown game, unless that Chiefs offense just can't figure shit out. For some reason, that has seemed to be the case lately, where that we've known the Chiefs offense for them scoring a lot of points at a high, at a high enough rate, where lately it's been like, usually you guys win this game in the fourth quarter. Nobody really bets on you because you barely cover and stuff like that. It's like, okay. And this year they just can't figure it out. They are last in their division at 2-3, I believe, or something. Yeah, 2-3. So it'll be interesting. But Sean Taylor is having his number officially retired. I thought this was long overdue. I believe he was murdered or killed or whatever you want to say a while ago. Probably would have been one of the most electrifying safeties in all of the NFL. I mean, we all go back to that one video of the Pro Bowl, where the Pro Bowl is usually, just guys going out there having a little pickup game. It's easy, no hard hits. Well, actually, that is because of what Sean Taylor fucking did in the Pro Bowl. Went out there and took Rex Grossman's helmet, just fucking threw it in the sidelines. Didn't know how Rex was feeling after. I'm surprised he got straight up. I mean, that was a big hit, but we all remember that hit from Sean Taylor. That's what he was known for, being explosive, being a monster out in that football field, not giving two shits what kind of game it was, who he was playing. If it was, it could literally be anybody. It could be his best friend on the other side of the football, and he's going to come and he's going to kill you, if you will, okay? And that's just what he played like. And this was very, very long overdue. Number 21 will be retired for the Washington football team. Now, this is big, big news, because it is only the third Washington number to be retired in their entire history. The other two are Sammy Baugh and this Bart I don't even know how to say his name, but there's two people get it. Sammy Baugh, one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play in the NFL. Actually, one of the first quarterbacks to play in the NFL to actually make a name for himself. A lot of quarterbacks kind of mimic their game a little bit, or go watch his film, or if there is any film, obviously, but look at him as kind of a mentor or an idol and stuff like that. But this is huge for Sean Taylor. They also announced that a road leading to the stadium will be renamed Sean Taylor Road. So that's good job for the Washington football team for doing that. But I guess they are receiving some backlash, and rightfully so. All right, so this whole week has been about John Gruden's, dumb, stupid remarks, if you will, or stupid emails. His ego getting out of proportion, or whatever you want to say, I guess. But one of my friends, or friends of the show, guest of the show, usually on Fantasy Football Friday, John or Y4, told me they're receiving a lot of backlash. They're thinking, okay, well, with all this shit going on with John Gruden, they think he's just being used as a public relations ploy to kind of take that John Gruden stuff and shove it out the window so everyone kind of forgets about it. And that makes sense. Why now? Why all of a sudden? I get maybe this was still in the works before all this shit happened, but it's why? Right now, right after John Gruden sent all these emails to more than one person, more than one organization, more than likely, it's just kind of different, and I think it's kind of disrespectful at the same time. But again, it goes right back to what, I mean, this is great for Sean Taylor and his family, because nobody will ever be able to wear the number 21 for the Washington football team ever again. And I think that is something that, a lot of people dream of, especially in baseball. That's one thing that everyone's like, hey, I want my number retired, hanging up in the rafters. Nobody can fucking wear it. That's my number. Nobody else's. I was great in that. You weren't, kind of thing. And that's good for Sean Taylor, because I think if he was able to actually play a full NFL career, I mean, we would have witnessed greatness. He'd be in the Hall of Fame. I mean, this dude was an all-out fucking, a dog. Okay, he was just a dog. Good for him. Good for the Washington football team. Bad on the public relations side of it. They could have waited maybe a week or two, kind of let this die out on its own. Maybe because who knows what else is stewing around in those emails, those 650,000 emails that Roger Goodell said, yeah, go take a fucking gander at all these, please. So we'll see what happens with that, but good job for the Washington football team retiring Sean Taylor's number. There probably will be more to come. I doubt this season, maybe one more this season, if any, actually, but good for Sean Taylor. Now, it is time to talk about tonight's Thursday night football matchup between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, this is at 7:20, like always, obviously, Thursday night football. The only way they're going to move back is if it's a rain delay, so we all kind of expect it, 7:20. But this is a big game. Okay, obviously, I think Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to take the Eagles and beat the shit out of them and throw them in the dumpster and walk away. That's basically what might happen tonight. But at the same time, it could be a game, because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are literally dealing with a laundry list of injuries, and I'll kind of go through and name a few. Jason Pierre-Paul is out. Rob Gronkowski, I think, might be out. He might play this game. Who knows? I'd have to go check again, or double check. I'm pretty sure he's probably going to be game time decision somewhere around there. If not, he already has been decided in or out. Levante David's out. Ryan Jensen is out. Pat O'Connor is out. Oh, so these are all today. Excuse me. Antoine Winfield is out. So all these players are dealing with injuries. Not going to play for them. There is a whole shit ton more. I'll just show you guys if it pops up. Too fucking bright outside. See, you're just gonna get a white screen. So that's how many players are out. Basically, there's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 people out on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers team with injuries. That's gonna play a big role, I feel like. Not a huge one, but a big role where they could, keep that first half real close. Second half, Tampa Bay kind of runs away with it. That's what I'm seeing, at least, or that's what I think is going to happen. Tom Brady's been an unbelievable quarterback this year, and the dude's he's the GOAT. He's the greatest of all time. Not Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, okay? He has thrown for 353.4 yards a game with 15 touchdowns, 2 picks. Very, very good. Okay, that is awesome. Only 2 interceptions. I think last year at this point he had like 4 or 5 interceptions, so that's looking awesome in my eyes. Leonard Fournette, their leading rusher, has 50.2 yards a game, 11.2 per attempt, and the touchdown this season. I don't know why he only has 1. I think they should figure out a way to get him more involved in that running game. At least, he is their number 1 runner. In the red zone, punching it in the end zone, getting those touchdowns. I get it. They have Antonio Brown, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, fucking Rob Gronkowski, Cameron Brate, and all these guys. But it's like, give my dude 1, please. That'd be awesome. Just get Leonard out there and get him a touchdown. I don't even know what the hell's going on with Rojo. Giovanni Bernard has been taking a little bit more, or a lot more snaps, it feels like, than Rojo. I think they might have to look for a possible trade down the line. I think the trade deadline is somewhere in November or something like that. So maybe Rojo could be on the move. Who knows? There are a lot of teams that need running backs, and rightfully so. He deserves to be a starting running back in this league. I think he has all the intangibles. We've seen him last year just absolutely ball out, and I don't think he's lost a step. If he has, I would like to see it, but it is what it is. And then Mike Evans, he's our Tampa Bay Buccaneers leading receiver with 78.6 yards per game, 5.8 per catch, and 4 tutties on the year. Now, this is interesting, okay? All receivers on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers team, you never know where that ball is going to go, okay? Yeah, if you have a certain person on your fantasy team, you're always hoping, throw it to fucking Mike Evans, please. Just give him the ball. Fuck Antonio Brown, Chris Godwin, all those guys. Just give him the ball. But that's the Tampa Bay way. All right, as of right now, or since Tom Brady actually got in there, there's weapons. Let's figure out what we need to use a little bit more. And Tom Brady's just going to find the open guy, dish it left, right, center, middle. Whatever he wants to do with the ball, he's going to score touchdowns at a high rate. He had 5 passing touchdowns last week, so he went from 10 to 15. Just an unbelievable team at this point in time. They're looking to go back-to-back Super Bowls and hopefully win back-to-back as well. They did win last year's, but they're looking solid. Now, on the Eagles side of things, they got Jalen Hurts, who has been their entire offense this whole season. I don't like it. I think they need to run the fucking ball more. Miles Sanders needs to get the ball more. That would be awesome. Kenneth Gainwell should get in there a little bit more too, but I think they're using Gainwell a little bit more than Miles Sanders, which is bullshit. Should not happen. Miles Sanders is a better running back, at least in my eyes. I'm not in the scouting combine, or not in their scouting department. I'm not the GM. I'm not the coach. I don't fucking know why. But in my eyes, at this moment in time, Miles Sanders is the better running back for the Philadelphia Eagles. They need to get him the ball a little bit more, maybe in the red zone, so they can put more points on the board. It feels like they're kicking field goals. That's what it feels like. If they're scoring, it's going to be a big play. It's going to be a good 20, 30-yard, pass reception or pass catch from fucking, Devontae Smith or, someone like that. And yeah, as much as that might work, and that's probably how this Philadelphia Eagles offense is all revolving around, is the pass and not so much run, because Jalen Hurts can run on his feet and has all the ability in the world to do so. But it's like, fucking hit him, just trick him every once in a while. Throw as many passes you want, or as you want, and then fucking just hand the ball off. Let it go. See what Miles Sanders wants to do, okay? That is one big thing. But Jalen Hurts is their leading passer and leading rusher. And that's why I think they got to run the ball a little bit more with Miles Sanders, because Jalen should not be their leading rushers. He's not a Lamar Jackson by any means. The guy's not as fast, not as elusive. Jalen Hurts is quick, okay? He has moves. He can get the ball. He'll get the job done. But Lamar Jackson is, we've seen what Lamar Jackson is, and it's not Jalen Hurts, okay? They got to run the ball more, but Jalen Hurts has averaged 273 yards per game, 7 touchdown passes, 3 picks, okay? And then rushing is 51.2 yards per game, 8.6 per attempt, and 3 touchdowns rushing. So yeah, his rushing stats are looking really solid, but at the same time, it's like, you're not even giving your other running backs a chance. So could your running backs, like Miles Sanders, could he get those 3 touchdowns? Could he get, 5 touchdowns? Could he get those 50-some yards? Which, yes, he could. I think he would actually go for 80, maybe 75 per game, something like that, because he's a good running back. But Jalen Hurts is their leading passer, leading rusher. Devontae Smith is their leading receiver with 62.8 yards per game, 5 yards per catch, and 1 tutty. For a rookie wide receiver, you're not going to expect too many touchdowns, too many yards right off the bat, unless, obviously you're Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson, who are just dogs their rookie years so far. Justin Jefferson last year, Jamar Chase this year, for those of you that are confused by that. But the Eagles need to run the ball a little bit more. I think if they run the ball and they can figure out how to establish that running game right off the bat, I think they're going to be sitting pretty. Okay, they're going to have a chance to actually win this game. But if they continue to go pass, play action, pass, maybe run. Figure it out. Get that run game established early. Okay, if you have to do a lot of read options with Jalen Hurts as well, do it, but get Miles Sanders involved, get Kenneth Gainwell involved. Zach Ertz might have a big game, okay? Dallas Goedert is not playing. Overall, Eagles are healthier. And if they do, since they're healthier and if they establish run game, they have a chance at winning this game. Don't think that's going to happen, obviously, because the stats show they don't fucking run the ball. They need to more. Tampa Bay, I have winning this game by 2 touchdowns, probably 14, 17 at the most. I don't see him beating them by any more than that. I think, the Cowboys obviously pulled them apart, fucking 20 points, and it was over. But we could see that same thing with Tampa Bay. At the same time, I just think with Tampa Bay's fucking laundry list of injuries, it's going to be a tough one for them. More defensively than offensively, obviously, but it's going to be a fun game. It's going to be a big one. Tampa Bay, Philadelphia Eagles, tonight, 7:20. I hope you're ready. I'm ready. Week 6 starts tonight. Well, with that being said, that is all I got for you guys today. It has been 25 minutes of absolute fun, enjoyment, and you guys getting your fix. I appreciate all of you fixers out there coming to the show, getting your fix, if you will, because it is a blessing to do this every single day. And you know what? Go enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to go do some frolfing in this cold weather, this cold fall day, and have my own little fun before the game. But yeah, we'll see you guys here tomorrow for Fantasy Football Friday with co-hosts or co-guests Logan Baumgart on Full Chub and John/Y4 with Fantasy Football Team established in 2021. So with that being said, have a great one, and you just got your fix with the Wicks. Appreciate it and have a good one.